What it do? Yo, man, listen. Today, I'm gonna be doing something I never thought I would do, and that is becoming a reaction YouTuber. That being said, let's get right into it. Before I, actually get into the video, I do want to say I have contacted Nandi. I've asked for his blessing in covering this topic, and he has said yes because he is like the nicest person on the planet. I put his info on the channel. I will also put it in the video description. I don't think any of you are subscribed to me and not him, but I do want to do my due diligence. So shout out to Nandi for giving me the permission and making the initial concept of the video. So thank you very much. Now, as you know, Nandi released the Dirty Dozen. It's a video series he does where it just boils down to Nandi giving a list of 12 of the best characters in the game. And these videos are extremely impactful, in my opinion, especially in a time where there are so many new people coming to Tacticus. So he has mentioned in his latest videos, oh, so many people are coming to Tacticus and whatnot. He's been talking. And I do think this Dirty Dozen is the most important one, especially because of all the influx of players coming from the Space Marine 2 video game. So, you know what it is? I'm gonna be talking about Nandi's Dirty Dozen October 2024 edition. Let's get right into it. So, why am I making this video? Well, as the biggest Tacticus YouTuber, I must react. My 100,000 subscribers dwarfs Nandi's only 14,000. So, as you know, my opinion matters. I mean, come on. So, this is a Dirty Dozen. He has actually made two lists. The initial list is the overall. The parameters have been expanded from guild rates to horde mode, war, and guild rates. So the list has seen some drastic shifts since the last one. And there is a more raid-specific list. I will be reacting to these in the same video. I'm gonna be reacting. I'm not gonna two-part you. I'm just not gonna two-part you. Okay, I'm not that guy. But I'm gonna divide the video into sections so it is more consumable. As you'll see, overall he's put Shosil. Nandi is a Tau lover. Just saying. Exposing Nandi as the first guy. Gida second, Calgar third, Ro, Ragnar, Eldurion, Actus, Revas, Karn, Bellator, Abrax, and Golgors. I mean, this has some extremely hot takes. For those of you who are maybe newer to the game, Shosil being the first guy, that's crazy. Golgors even being in the list, that is also crazy. Revas is what's going on here? So, what is the right opinion, right? What is Draupnir's right opinion? First things first, we actually know what Nandi looks like. This is Nandi, right? The video is extremely based. He just comes out of nowhere and says, guys, Shosil is the best character in the game. And refuse, just that's the video. And you gotta take it, and he's right. I respect him for this. And I'm not being sarcastic. That's so based. I wish I could do something like that. But I am actually gonna do something like that. If you thought Nandi was gonna be the only based one, nah. This is Draupnir's Dirty Dozen. I'm putting Bellator as the best character in the game. Gida being the second place, I completely agree with Nandi. Gida is an extremely good character in the game. He's great in guild raids. I would actually give him a 4.5 in raids. He's good in war. He's extremely good in horde modes. I would actually give him a 5 because of his ability to summon things and keep those summons, I don't want to say healthy through healing, but healthy through armor buffs and contamination axes. He's very good. Calgar is the best Imperial buffer in the game, so that's great. Extor Ro, he is the king of the meta. Ragnar has become significantly better with the release of Magnus the Red because he's the only usable character in the game against him. Eldurion has seen his usefulness shift because of Avatar of Cain and Magnus the Red bosses. He is a good buffer. However, the removal of Eldurion does not destroy guild rates. Actus is good. I think Actus is in a very difficult spot to judge because he himself is not very good. He's as good, I keep saying this, he's as good as the best mechanical character in the game. And right now, mechanical characters are popping. They're like the best characters in the game. That makes Actus the best character in the game. I'm actually gonna put Shosil where Revas was, because Shosil is good, especially in hordes. It's good in raid teams. He's usable in Extor Row, and in war he's an absolute menace. So it makes sense that he's on the list. Karn the Betrayer, he dominates PvP. He's good in war. He's usable in Ragnar's. He just came out, and we gotta support him, guys. We gotta support him. He just came out. He just came out into the game, and then he just became a staple in Ragnar back main comps, which is good. Like I do respect that, especially with Magnus Red being in the game. His passive to take reduced psychic damage does work really well. Speaking of Magnus, I put Roswitha here because with the release of like more and more psychic bosses, she just keeps going up in value. I do think she's like a really good investment. Like she's just usable in the mechanical team. She's usable. That's pure cope. Don't do that. But it's just for the sake of argument. She's usable in Ragnar teams. She's usable in Neurotrope teams. She's good. You might ask where Neurotrope is. He's dying right now. Who nobody cares about Neurotrope. Abrax being 11, it's good. I like him. I don't want to like give out too much, but he's good. And for the 5th, I'm actually gonna put Aleph Null. No, for 15th rather. Now you might be asking yourself, hey Draupnir, why are you doing this? I promise you, I am not doing this to be controversial. My thought process is, the overall list, it is more broad. However, it is very important to understand that for many people, especially for new players, the Dirty Dozen is a resource that they look at and decide what characters they're going to build based on that. Now, am I like making a straw man? No. When I was a new player, I looked at the Dirty Dozen. I was like, hey, those are the characters. Sure, I'm gonna build that, right? It's the biggest tactic. Jokes aside, like Nandi's by far the biggest tactics content creator, and like he makes the Dirty Dozen. He's like, hey, these are the best characters in the game, and like he's right. Those are amazing characters, and people essentially like, hey, watch Nandi video, right? Even I say that when someone asks me, it's like, hey, what about this? I say, hey, watch the Nandi video and then watch my video because he makes such good content. Draupnir, even in a video where he's dissing Nandi, he can't stop glazing him. He better be a baker. Draupnir is bright. I'm losing my mind. The show still at rank 1. I'm gonna go insane. I'm gonna lose my mind. However, jokes aside, like if I'm gonna be serious for like 2 seconds, I do think as content creators, it's our responsibility to promote more accessible characters that are good everywhere in the game, and that will be a boon to every roster to have in high levels. Now, Nandi did include Bellator, however, he did not include Aleph Null. My thought process and argument is every single person in the game has access to Bellator. Bellator is usable in guild raids, especially for new players who don't face that many bosses, because, if you're a low-level player, your guild raid experience just consists of doing Tyranid bosses, where Bellator is really good. He's good for his campaign, he's good for his elite campaign, he's good for any other Imperial campaign because of how chonky he is. He is usable in arena, he's usable in tournament arena, he is usable in war, he is amazing in legendary release events just to like push ranks. So I do think Bellator is like the best character in the game because everybody has access to him and he's good everywhere. Now, is he like the single greatest thing in all of human history, like in like every single mode? Absolutely not. But 1, he's accessible. 2, everybody has to have him. And 3, he's extremely versatile. It's a similar case for Aleph Null. Though we don't unlock him right away, it is very, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, like, everybody's going to unlock Aleph Null at some point, and, like, it's going to be one of the first characters they unlock after the Acquisition Impulse. And, he's good in his campaign. He's extremely good in the Elite campaign, which is a really useful tool to get for guild raids, not guild raids, upgrading characters with Elite campaign nodes. He is good in guild raids thanks to the mechanical team being good. He is good in arena, just destroying a character with the summon active. And the legendary release events, him being able to heal himself and other mechanical units is extremely helpful. Plus, he's like super chunky. Even in tournament arena, dude, that thing gets like a power-up where like health power-up and armor power-up. That thing's not dying. There's nothing you can do about that. So I do wish that Nandi did add some more like accessible characters to the list. Now, the Dirty Dozen for the raids, funnily enough, I do agree with every single thing he put here. Extoro is, the best character in the game, and Ragnar is the second best character in the game. Actus is what I said, as good as the best mechanical character in the game, which is Extoro. So Actus being 3 is good. Tangita being 3, I respect that. Like, the core of the mechanical team being as good as they are, I do respect it. Eldrion at 5, some people might be like, oh my god, what's happening? It does make sense. Like Magnus, as I've said, Magnus and Avatar have proven that you don't need Eldrion. He's extremely good, but you don't need him. Calgar is the second best buffer. Shosil at 7, Guys, it's Draupnir. Draupnir lost his mind. It's Draupnir. I'm gonna be in control until Draupnir just is unable to maintain the voice. So Shosil at 7, it makes sense. He's good in like Screamer. He's good in he's good in all the. God, I can't do it. This is like impossible to maintain the voice. I'm sorry. He's just good in a lot of bosses. Like for Silent King and Tyranids, he's top tier because of extra row comps. Gaskell, he's bad. Mortarion, he's bad. Avatar, he is usable at low levels. Magnus, Nandi put him at 3. I would put him at 2. It is what it is. Anufet is also good. You might be saying, hey, Draupnir, what's going on? It's the mechanical team. It is what it is. Karn being at 9 makes sense. Anshi being at 10 also makes sense. I do think Nandi is a little harsh on the Skarzek score. You can do reasonable amounts to Skarzek with Anshi, so it is what it is. I do like seeing Bellator 11 both. I mean, Screamer 3, I don't agree with that at all. I do think Screamer should be 4 because, Bellator is just that chunky. However, Nandi, you're cooked. I'm cooking you. Tonight, we're gonna have town dinner. Revas as the 12th best character? Nah, no way. Absolutely no way. Screamer Killer, 0. Rogaldorn, 0. Avatar, 0. Magnus, 0. Gaskell, 0. Turvigon, reasonable. Tyrant, okay, I'll give him a 4. I'll give him a 4 at Tyrant. It's fine. No, the Revas is absolute cope. I don't agree with that one bit. I do think the Biovore should be the 12th Dirty Dozen. He's technically not a character, however, his impact is undeniable. This is my Dirty Dozen, I've been told. Now, key takeaways. Nandi is extremely based for pushing Tao in his video. For those of you who don't know what based means, I can't believe I'm saying this. I messaged Nandi and I was like, Nandi, you're really based. And he said, oh, why do you feel that way? And I had to explain, it's like, hey, Nandi, based is a good thing. I'm complimenting you. No. But, Nandi's extremely based. He's an absolute giga chad for doing this. Mad respect. I do like the list. I do like the fact that we are expanding from guild raids. There are other modes. I do wish that the next Dirty Dozen does broaden the parameters of the overall list significantly more and takes into account what characters are more accessible than others. Because despite the fact that more experienced middle and higher end players look at this and like have takeaways and creates discussions, it is extremely important to understand because of Nandi's like how big his channel is, how influential he is, and how well spoken he is. I mean, that guy, it's like a professional. I mean, it's crazy. It's like I'm listening to David Attenborough. You're listening to me. I listen to myself when I'm like editing these videos. I think to myself, goodness, this guy's crazy. This guy's like completely unhinged. No, but goodness, I am completely just losing it. But no, what I'm saying is, it's a fact of life. It's just a reality that newer players look at these videos and they do get disheartened by the fact that they don't have access to these characters. So I do think Bellator and Alipnor being higher in the list does make sense, and not because just like to appeal to the newer players, because of the fact that both of those characters are good in their campaigns, which lets you farm characters, which lets you do like literally everything in the game. They are good in legendary release events. They are good in raids. Maybe not like the top tier of like everything, but like like the fact that we put the what's his name, Anufet instead of Aleph. No, dude, that's crazy. Oh my god, I'm losing it. No, that's about it. Anyways, it will be nice to broaden the criteria in the next video. I do think the next video is gonna come out in like 10 years. Anyways, thank you very much for watching the video. I genuinely appreciate you doing so. It does mean a lot to me. If you want to enter my referral code, I will greatly appreciate it. If not, it's not the end of the world. If you do, you get 100 Blackstone shorts, and it's, just support the channel. Anyways, with that being said, oh, before I do, Nandi's channel link and video link are in the description. If you want to give him a shout out, support, I would greatly appreciate it. Have a great day, and stay safe.